Hey, Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I'm very happy to have you here. As we were talking about just before we hit record, video is a very important part of my business strategy going forward. So even if nobody listens to this episode, I'm going to get a whole lot out of it. Now, with that said, I'm sure a lot of people are going to get a lot of value out of this because video is a very important part of today's marketing strategy. So before we dive into all of that, let's introduce you first. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name's Justin Brown. I work with my brother Mike. Our company is Primal Video, and that's where we help people leverage video to grow and amplify their business and brand. Because these days we're all told that we need to do video, but there's all these things that come up, whether it's fear of being on camera, fear of the tech, or just the procrastination that comes with another thing you've got to add to your to-do list. So we focus on the processes and systems to help people actually see a return or result with video.
Okay. So even though your channel, Primal Video, is very popular, you don't consider yourself a YouTuber.
Not really, no. I guess inherently by making YouTube videos, you do become a YouTuber. But for us, it's organic traffic. It's a great place for us to really at the top of the funnel, to find people and to bring them into our ecosystem, to show them that we can help them. And obviously the ones that take action, the ones that like our YouTube content and want that next step, then that's where they'll join our email list and flow on through there into some of our products and services.
Okay, and how many subscribers do you have and when did you start your channel?
I think we hit 130,000 last week. We're currently growing by about 12 to 15,000 a month, and that's growing faster now. So yeah, it's definitely growing a lot faster than it does in the beginning. But we started about 4 years ago, and I can tell you the first 50 subscribers, the first 100 subscribers, we nearly gave up because it was taking that long. I think at the 6-month mark, I don't think we'd hit 100 subscribers yet. And we're like, okay, what is wrong with this? What is like, we're video people. My background is in production and making documentaries and those sorts of things. Why can't we make this work? So we kind of took a step back and looked at it and said, all right, YouTube is a search engine. We need to create content that is easy for people to find, that lines up with what they're searching for. So instead of just like, this is a really good tip or a really good video that this is going to help people, it's not exactly what they're searching for. So we were talking about the outcome, not about the problem. So we kind of switched then and went, all right, people aren't searching for the outcome. They'd like the outcome, but what they're typing in is, what editing software do I use? Or what's the best editing software? Or how do I film with my phone? And these sorts of things. So, all right, let's start to create content around those and make those the sort of the first point that people find us. I mean, people go to YouTube for free stuff. It's the DIY. I want to learn how to do it myself. But obviously people are going there as their first point of call. It's a search engine. Create searchable content and do a bit of research first. You can find out what people are searching for. It's really easy to see what words they're typing in. Google tells you this stuff. YouTube tells you what those keywords are. We started creating content around that so that we would show up in search results so that people could find us.
And you said you had 130,000 subscribers. You have 230,000.
I'm pretty sure it's at 230, but yeah, it's 200.
You nipped yourself out of 100,000 subscribers.
Right. It's not about the numbers. So our goal going into it was to kind of have some credibility to be able to help people with this. Like behind the scenes, we had been helping people obviously on the production side, but also on the strategy side for business and using YouTube and video as a tool for business. And okay, well, we need to kind of, if we're going to be teaching this stuff and helping people with this stuff, which we're already getting them results, we kind of need to have 10 or 20,000 to make it, look, we're not just doing it for other people, we can do it ourselves too. So that's where that first 100,000 was like, why are we doing this? It's not working for us. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's position this for my audience, which is an audience of e-commerce entrepreneurs. And they're thinking, well, I don't want to be a YouTuber, but I know that every single one of those people is interested in more traffic. And you're saying that YouTube is a great way to generate organic traffic. That being the case, starts with a channel. Now, let's begin before we get into the how you make a video, let's talk about channel positioning and who the avatar and who the audience is. And I know that you and I, my wife and I actually just had a really intense discussion about our own channel and how to properly position and so forth. And we went away not completely agreeing. And she said, well, go find somebody who's more knowledgeable on YouTube than us, and we'll see what they have to say. So I'm just going to use...
You're still married, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm just going to use me as an example. So I am interested in building an audience of e-commerce entrepreneurs. Now, it could be that they want to be an e-commerce entrepreneur. It could be that they've just gotten started, or they could be doing $2 million a year wanting to go to $4 million a year. And the way that I intend to monetize my audience that my channel would allow me to build would be through my software application, Flowster, because we're going to have all sorts of standard operating procedures for all the things that you would be running into to have to do on a regular basis to be successful in e-commerce. Now, currently we have a lot of traction with people who are Amazon wholesale sellers. And I don't yet have much traction with people who are e-commerce. They're building their own brand, we'll say, and they're selling on their own site. Now, yeah, they're probably selling on Amazon, but they're primarily selling on their own site. So from a channel positioning perspective, do I have to focus solely on people who are interested in Amazon wholesale? Or can I say, well, my channel is about e-commerce and I have playlists or subtopics or whatever to address the needs of each one of the people who are in differing positions on their journey to becoming a successful e-commerce entrepreneur?
So there's a lot of people out there that would say that you need to niche down and you need to get really super specific on your channel. And while that does come into play, I think in your regard or your example, I would say that look at the conversations that you want to be having with them and want to be creating content for the long game. Like, this isn't just going to put up a couple of videos. In order to really grow on YouTube, you would need to be creating content and uploading consistently. So we upload one video a week, and we've been doing one video a week for 4 years. So how many conversations or videos could you have on a really, really specific topic, maybe Amazon and making money on Amazon for e-commerce and those sorts of things? Is that something that is even achievable? Or is there more to it than just that one thing? Is Amazon just one solution? Is Amazon just one piece of the puzzle? And could you give them a much better journey, a much better end result with you as the leader, as you as the expert in that space, because you know that that might not just be the one way. So I would probably take a step back in your case and go with, I think that was your suggestion. It's more like less specific, and have those conversations around it. And yes, inherently with YouTube, those videos are going to grab more traffic. The ones that are early stage, the ones that are more on the beginner end, people go to YouTube for free stuff to learn themselves, the DIY content. But you'll also be able to show them the ones that are further along that journey, how they can grow as well. Now, that's not going to deter the beginners. If anything, it's going to encourage or inspire them to see what is possible when they're at those later stages as well. Or they might be able to jump from one to the other really quickly and implement some of those strategies and things that you're talking about much faster than even you might have thought. So it really is about, I would say, getting specific overall, and I would say e-commerce is probably a good way to do that. But obviously all your Amazon related content you could put into a playlist on your channel, like a subset of your channel. So the people that are just interested in that, they could jump straight to those playlists and find all of that relevant content. And obviously the ones that want the more advanced stuff or the different strategies, they can go straight to those. But I don't think it has to be one or the other. Obviously, if you're talking about, say, e-commerce and then you go and talk about reviewing TV shows, totally different. And that's where you're going to alienate your audience. So you want to keep it on topic, but I don't think you need to be so specific that you're just like one product or one service around that, especially if in business you would recommend that they maybe look at some of these different options.
So one other follow-up question then, would it, in your channel branding, so I'm speaking specifically about the artwork you put on the top of your channel, would it be worthwhile to say, so let's say my channel is going to be Trent Deersmith E-commerce Business Systems because I'm about e-commerce and I'm about systems, maybe in the channel art, helping you go from $0 to $5 million a year in your e-commerce business. So I'm kind of picking a niche and saying, hey, if you're anywhere in this bracket, this channel is going to be super relevant to your journey.
Definitely. I think you're really narrowing, we're saying what the channel is. And that's what the one thing that a lot of people miss, especially in that channel banner art, is what are you going to get from the channel? And people think like they'll create their channel trailer, the little intro, like what you're going to find on this channel. people don't necessarily watch that, but they want to know that when they click on any one of your videos that they can see that. So having that tagline and being specific about who these videos are for and having that front and center on your channel in that banner across the top is a great way to do it. So yes, that way people will know that, yeah, whether they got $5 million business or less, then they're in the right place.
Okay. And even one step further, I would say something to the effect of systems to help you grow your e-commerce business from $0 to $5 million.
Definitely.
Okay.
And that's the kind of thing that you can experiment with and change over time as well. Like we started with a totally different channel and we pivoted to something that was a broader conversation. We started with just video editing, but quickly realized that creating editing videos is painful. And while there's an outcome, it's one piece of the puzzle, right? They take a lot of work to create an editing video, but it's also once you can edit, then what? Well, then you've still got to film and to be able to edit well, you need to have good footage, but also that once you've got the end video, then what? So to us, it was about the outcome, and that's using video for business, using video to build either audience or revenue. So that's where we couldn't just talk about the one piece of the puzzle that was editing.
Got it. Okay. So now that people understand, or hopefully understand, channel positioning from our brief conversation in my example, let's talk about the video planning and production process, because it's all fine to have your channel figured out, but unless you're uploading videos on a regular basis, it's not going to be too terribly successful. So in video, you need to think, well, what's my video going to be about? You need to pick a topic, then you need to come up with an outline, then you need to shoot it, you need to edit it, and you need to upload it and promote it. So let's just kind of unpack all of that, and I'm going to let you do the vast majority of the talking, and I'm just going to hop in with questions where I have. So let's start at the beginning. Tell me about, and again, let's just keep using me as the guinea pig, if that makes it easy.
Yeah.
So I want to decide on a topic for the first, let's say, because next week, as an example, my goal is to plan out 12 videos, because I was inspired by what you said when you took an entire week and just blitzed. So I've blocked my entire calendar for next week for video production. How do I figure out what my topics are going to be?
Okay, awesome. So we block out a week for filming, and obviously it doesn't take a week, but things come up. There'll be, power might go out, or there might be a big storm, and it's not, whatever it is. That's why we block out a week. And in that week, we're going to shoot 10 to 12 videos. But obviously all the planning and everything needs to be done before you get to that point. So we also block out a few days the week before to make sure that we have the topics selected. So I'll run through that part of the process too, and then get into the actual filming stuff. So the first thing that we do, we use Trello to map all of this out. And we have it's just like a little list. You can have lists and you can move the items across. So we have a topic pool, which is any random topic. If we're in the shower, or if we're driving, or whatever it is, we get an idea, it goes into that topic pool. Okay. So the first step in the process is we've got a big list of topics, and these are things that could be your frequently asked questions. If you're not sure on topics, like the things that people ask you all the time, if you could just send them to a video, that's a great place to start. Okay. It could be, if you're a business, it could be even things like talking about your staff, individual staff members, and what they bring to the team, or the outcomes of working with you, right? So there's a couple of ideas there, but we have a topic list. From there, we'll start to shortlist that down, because we obviously want to get to 10 to 12 videos to shoot. We might find then that we pull maybe 15 of those topics out into the shortlist. And these are ones that we think are good, timely content, like good for right now, but also we try to create evergreen content. So there's not just about something that's happening right now. This is something that is going to be relevant into the future. Obviously, we're in a tech kind of space, so things change a lot. So we want to make sure that if we are doing something that is prone to change, or like an app update might come out, we want to get those videos out fast. So we want to prioritize those in case there's an update. We don't want to have to rework and reshoot a video. So we've got a topic pool. We shortlist those topics down. I'll then go through each one of them and note out the key points for each video. It's just a few dot points. So if it's for video editing software, it'll be the ones that I'm going to recommend at the end after going and doing all the tests and research and that kind of stuff. So this is where you're noting down the key points or the objectives of the video, what you want to leave the viewer with after they've watched the video. We'll then go into a research and scripting phase. And this is where Mike, my brother, goes through his process for keyword research. We'll go and make sure that these are valid topics. And this is where the topic can change a little bit, looking at what people are actually typing into Google and YouTube. And a great place to start with this is the search bar in Google or YouTube. As you start to type stuff out, it'll populate and give you suggestions. Those suggestions that come through are what people are actually typing in and are searching for. So that's a great place to start to refine down your overall topic into what people are searching for. So your topic might change a little bit based on what comes out of those, but you're also confirming that, yes, there is some search traffic or search volume here. So the bulk of the videos that we do, if there isn't much search traffic or search volume on there, if people aren't searching for the topic, we may still do the video, but in most cases, we'll probably move it back to the icebox or back to the topic pool for a little bit later. But the primary thing is we're looking at, is there search volume? Is this video going to do well?
So let's dig in a little bit there. So I use an extension called TubeBuddy.
Nice.
And TubeBuddy will give you some scoring on the volume on the value of a keyword, both for YouTube as a whole and then for your channel. How much weight, like, are there certain search volumes that you're looking for? Do you use the TubeBuddy tool, and do you kind of keep it like in the yellow or the green, or like how do you know that there is enough traffic to warrant a particular video and not too much competition so that like your video is never going to see the light of day?
Yeah, so it really is. TubeBuddy is good, and that's one of the tools that we use. I'd say the one that we use more so than that is it's a Chrome and Firefox extension that you can install, and it's called Keywords Everywhere. That is an absolute game changer. So as you start to type in some of these search things into the search boxes, then it tells you what the search traffic is there in line. So that is huge. But then I'll actually go and run the search, right? So once we start to narrow this down, we'll actually do a search on YouTube and see what comes up, like who actually is ranking for this video. Is it a big channel? Is it a small channel? Like, how much weight does their channel bring to the YouTube algorithm? Obviously, if it's a big channel and the video's got a lot of views, that's a fair bit of weight. That video is probably going to be hard to outrank if you're a brand new channel. So it's not that you don't then create those videos, but you might create maybe a different spin on that video. But you can also use TubeBuddy to see what keywords and tags and what they've used in, like what other people have used in their videos. So it's not that you're starting it's not that you're starting from scratch here. It's that you can see all of this information and what made that video go to number 1 or number 2 in Google and in YouTube. And so you can use TubeBuddy is a great one, Keywords Everywhere, to help you narrow down those keywords.
Okay. So are there any other steps involved in getting to the point where you're like, okay, this is the topic, the title we're going to target. I've got my outline. I'm now ready to script. Is there anything else that happens before scripting?
I think in that it's again just getting clear on what the outcome of the video is. So once you look at the keywords, you really want to be sure of, like, because obviously the keywords may change the title of the video, which may change the content of the video. You want to be sure that you aren't just creating clickbait titles just to get people to click onto your video. You need to make sure that you are actually going to talk about and cover what those things are. And it sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't do that. They'll title the video something just to get the view.
Wow,
but that doesn't help anyone.
Piss people off. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
So in scripting, walk me through the process, because in the beginning, I used to would put a few points on a whiteboard. I'd stand up in front of the whiteboard, and then it was kind of like my memory hook, and I would talk about the things. And I don't so much care for that approach anymore because I don't think produces as good of a video. So walk me through the scripting process.
Right, so the scripting process comes down into 5 main things, or 5 main areas that you want to cover in your video. The first one is the hook. Especially on YouTube, the hook is the most important piece of your video. And all it does is reaffirm to whoever has clicked your video that they are in the right place. So our hook, in our example, would be, in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 video editing apps that you need to be using to get great results with your videos, right? My title of the video will be the top 5 tools that you need to use, or whatever it is. Like, they've got to line up. So all you're doing is you're in the mindset of the viewer. They've just clicked a video that's shown up in search. They're questioning, is this person, I don't care who they are they going to answer the question? Are they going to solve this problem for me? And so all you're doing is addressing that. And it's really these little micro checks that they're doing. They'll type something into search. They'll look at the thumbnail image. to say, okay, yeah, that says what it's going to be. That looks like that's on topic of what I want to answer, or the answer I want. The title and the description all say things like everything lines up. I'm going to click. When they click, it's like, am I in the right place? So you want to reaffirm that they are.
Now on the thumbnail, which from what I have learned has a huge impact on whether they're going to click or not.
Yes.
It looks to me when looking at your channel that your title is pretty much in the thumbnail.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So for us, we're always A/B testing thumbnails, and TubeBuddy now lets you do A/B testing on your thumbnail, so you can see which one is actually going to convert higher. We want it as easy as possible, or to make it as easy as possible for people to see what is going on in the videos and to entice them to click. There's no point. You could have the world's best video, but if no one clicks on it, or if it doesn't show up in search, or if no one clicks on it, then what was the point? So your thumbnails actually are a huge part of that.
So why not, let's say the title is, I'll just use one of yours, Premiere versus Final Cut Pro, Best Video Editor of 2018. Why not in the thumbnail maybe make a benefit? Like, because you said you need to make sure that you leave the viewer with what they want. Why wouldn't you have words on the thumbnail that would convey the benefit of watching the video as opposed to the title? Because the title is right underneath and you're sort of repeating it.
Yeah, so you've got to think that this place, when your thumbnail is shown up on there, if they're on their phone, it's going to be really small. So you only want to have a few words in big text so that it catches their eye and they can quickly see and entice them to click. But if you had a heap of extra text on there, then it's going to be too much, and people will scroll past if there's too much text on there. They're not there to read; they're there to watch a video. Yeah. So it literally is like 3 to 5 words at the most on what the outcome is, like how to edit faster or something, like just so they know that they're in the right place.
Okay, so back to scripting. 5 main areas. First area is a hook. What's the second area?
Then we go into an introduction. So after you've hooked them and they know that they're in the right place, you actually buy yourself a little bit of time. So that's where I'll say something like, hey, it's Justin from Primal Video, where we, help you amplify your business and brand with video. So I've bought myself some time. Whenever we started a video with, hey, it's Justin from Primal Video, and the views would just drop, because at that point you haven't hooked them yet. Who is this guy? Is he actually going to answer this problem? And he's talking too much already. So they're out. So it really is, the hook is the most important thing. So then you buy yourself some time, you get an intro, so you can introduce yourself, your company, like short and sharp still. You don't want to talk for 10 minutes here. But it really is to give them a bit of background then, even on the topic. So if there's anything that you need to set up before you get to the content, or explain how the video is going to go, so you can reaffirm that at that point. So yes, in this video, we've gone and researched all of the top tools, and I've narrowed it down to 5, and I'm going to run you through those 5. Now, they're in no particular order. These are just 5, so that you can explain how the content is going to be delivered to them. So you're really hitting the different personality types and how people like to consume their content. You're explaining how the video is going to go. And obviously then you need to then follow that in the next section, which is the actual content itself.
Okay, so that's number 3.
Number 3 is the actual content. What we like to do in there as well is add another hook. So it's kind of a subset. We will then hook them to the end with something like a bonus. And make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm also going to share with you our process for editing videos faster. So you know that they're there for editing tools or whatever it is. You can add some other hook or something to keep them there till the end of the video. Now, inherently, if you're doing a top 5 video, people are going to stick around for number 5. Yeah. Even if they didn't like 1, 2, 3, or 4, number 5 could be the game changer for them. Yeah. So, we don't necessarily just make top 5 or top 10 videos, but it is a good strategy to get people watching and keep them watching. The other way is with this bonus, like hook them to a bonus towards the end of the video that you're going to over deliver on something else that you know that they're going to need, that they may not be aware of yet. Like
you're going to either impart some additional information or maybe make a URL available for them to get a downloadable free report or Definitely. Whatever.
Yep. Free workshop training, whatever. Yep. So we've got hook, we've got the content, hook, intro, content. Then after we've delivered the content is when we will deliver the bonus. So before the end of the video, we're saying, cool, at the start of the video, I said I would also share with you whatever it is. So here it is. And here's the link to go and get it. Then the last thing then is your call to action. What do you want them to do after watching this video? What action do you want them to take? Is it to like, to subscribe? Is it to go and watch other videos of yours or someone else's on the same topic? It's what do you want them to do next? And it doesn't necessarily need to be the same as the bonus.
So if I'm watching one of your videos and your call to action is for me to go and watch some other video on some other person's channel, is your channel credited with a watch time? With the watch time for the viewing of the second video in some way? Because it's all about getting the algorithm to know that, hey, my videos encourage the largest amount of watch time.
Yeah. So it doesn't give you added watch time, but it does feature your channel, or it does play into your channel massively, because you've created a session. Someone has watched through your videos and they've then stuck around on the platform. So the biggest thing for YouTube is time on platform. If you can help them have more time on platform from a user session, then that is huge. So if you don't have a related video that is related to the one that someone's just finished of yours, send them to someone else's that is on topic. That obviously is a good video that you like or whatever. Yep. And that's going to keep them on YouTube and keep them watching. And that's going to hold really strong for you and for your channel, because you're keeping people on platform longer, which means YouTube can run more ads and make more money. So it really is thinking about the user journey, but also what YouTube wants out of this as well.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. All right, so now let's talk about shooting the video, and we're not going to go into like what camera and lighting and all that kind of thing. What I'm more interested in is, if you are not going to be the one editing the video, how do you shoot it so that when you give it to an editor, they are able to produce what you had in mind when you were in the planning stage?
Awesome question. Awesome question. Because while we teach video editing and help people with that, we outsource our editing. And we've built a team of editors, and that's something that people are really shocked to hear. Like, you're a video editor, you should do it yourself. Well, why should I do it myself? I'd rather focus on the business and growing the business, right? So I love this question. So yes, we use a process when I'm filming, to help make the editing easier. And the biggest thing that we do is make sure that I only move on to the next sentence, the next dot point, the next topic, the next piece of the video, when I'm happy with the last take. So that we're taking the thinking part out of someone editing, so they don't have to chop and change my sentences in half and take the start of this sentence and the end of another sentence and try to mash them together. That's thinking, that's brain power, and there's a decision made in there. So whenever there's a decision made, there could be a mistake, which is then when you're reviewing, you're watching everything more closely. So for us, we remove that. So our editors only ever use the last take or the last sentence or the last time I say something. That's the one that I want them to use. So knowing that, then they actually edit backwards. So instead of editing from the start of the footage that I've pressed record on, they edit from the end, from the last thing, like where I stop recording, they edit backwards, knowing then that they're going to hit that best take, or the one that I want them to use first. So it makes it much, much quicker for them to follow that process of always hitting that best take, because they're working from right to left instead of left to right. So I hope I've explained that well enough, but that is an absolute game changer. If you're going to get someone else to edit your content, you're essentially doing the editing while you're presenting. Now, that does mean that you may need a couple of extra takes when you're filming. So your filming may be a little bit longer than it would be if you're just like, you know what, I set it all in there, you guys go and make it look good. But that's a risk that they're going to miss bits, and then you'll be questioning the editing. Did I say that or not? And I think that's in there somewhere. And then you'll be at the point where it would have been quicker for you just to edit it yourself. So it really is about building this process out and essentially just giving them all the pieces to make up the video, easy for them to find. Now, you can also leave markers or hints, or like you could clap 3 times so they're seeing like an audio spike in the waveform, and you could say, actually, with this one, this section is supposed to go back a little bit. So you don't have to create a full brief after you've recorded the video. You're just giving them the video file, and they've got everything in there that they need. So you're able to communicate with them in there as well.
So as an example of that, you might be saying, so you've got your take you like, then you're going to snap your fingers, so they're going to see the spike. Then you're going to say, in that last section where I want you to put an image over here of blah, 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 blah. so that you're literally, the instructions are embedded all in the raw footage.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, is there anything else with respect to shooting to make editing easier for the editor? Any other best practices or any other tricks or techniques?
I think not overshooting is a big one that people get caught out with. They'll just leave the camera running, and then if they get a phone call, their phone goes off, they've got to go and answer the front door, whatever it is, right? So the footage is a lot more than what it needs to be. Yeah. So I would say be mindful that it's going to flow on it's more footage for your editors to go through, and less is more. You really don't want to give them what they need in regards to the content piece, the spoken piece. Yep. If it's in regards to B-roll or overlay footage or product shots, then that's where you would want to shoot more than what you think, because you can never have too much B-roll or overlay footage, and at least that makes it easier for your editors to edit because they've got more options. And more options on the B-roll, but less options on the actual, or less footage to sort through on the actual content.
Is there good providers of stock footage for B-roll?
There are. The one that we generally use is Video Blocks, which I think now is called Story Blocks, and it's a one-time fee. I think it's $197 for the year, and you get access to a big library of footage that you can use. So that's one that we use quite a lot. There are others out there like Shutterstock. They typically charge a lot more, but it really is while that's our go-to, Video Blocks or Story Blocks, it comes down to the shot that you're looking for, right? So not all of them may have the shot that you're looking for. So it really is, treat them as just a library, and if one doesn't have it and you find the one on something else, then go to something else. So it really is more importantly to be clear on what you're looking for and find that shot, and then, okay, how much is that one if you're going to be using that?
Okay. And now we're on to editing. So
nice.
This is a pain that I just went through, trying to find a good editor. And I found one guy, but then, his editing style after the fact I find wasn't working for me. So then I was back into the market looking for another editor. And I'm working with US-based editors and, paying $60 to $70 an hour. And I think you're taking a different approach. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have two editors, two primary editors. One of them is a local editor that I can work in with, and obviously a local editor is going to be more expensive than someone online. But we also have an online editor. And online editors, we help people find them. They are between $4 and $6 to $7 US an hour. And in our experience, they are absolutely amazing. So even we're in the process of shooting a course at the moment. Even the course modules that I shot yesterday, they were uploading to Google Drive after I was shooting them, like as I was going throughout the day. Our editor in the Philippines was downloading them and editing them. And by the end of the night, I think I have almost all of them back by now, and it's 9 a.m. my time. So that's how fast and how awesome that is. And they're literally going through, cutting all of that down. And then my local editor in this case is going to add the polish to control it that way. But our process for hiring is, we're not looking for a super creative person. The most important thing when you're hiring an editor is to find someone that can follow a process first. So in our hiring process, we are asking 6 questions. And it says, in order to be a successful applicant, you need to answer these 6 questions. And they are things like links to your favorite video that you've created, not their latest one, which a lot of people ask for. Show me your latest stuff. But these are editors. They could have done something for someone that they didn't like, just following what the client wanted. So ask them for their favorite video. Ask them for their internet speed test. That's a big one. If you're going to be moving large files around, you want to know that they can download and upload files quick. So we'll go through 6 questions. And just to find out a little bit about them, like what their hourly rate would be, if anyone doesn't answer those 6 questions, they're not getting a look in, because they haven't followed the process. Yeah. So you want to know that when you say, I want you to do this, 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 and this to edit my video, that they're going to do that and at least read it and understand it and action that first. Then they can be creative and go nuts on top of that, but at least sticking to that process first. Because with editing, it's a creative thing. You give the same footage to 10 different people, you're going to get 10 totally different things. Mm-hmm. So that's where building a process around, or even a template around your video. So our guys all know that whenever I say links are in the description, to bring up a title that says links are in the description. So we really have it mapped out like that, a full editing checklist on how we want everything to be, even in regards to the music volume at the start. Start it so it's a little bit louder than it would be for the bulk of the content. When we bring up a title and no speaking, then boost the volume at that point. So we've really dialed in, like pulled apart one of our videos. It's like, what do we want? Like, how can we make a process around this, or a template that someone can follow and create our YouTube ready content without any input from me? And these guys will even go and do screen captures of Amazon and products and things that we're showing. And like, what comes back is in most cases like 10 times what I thought it would be, because they've done exactly what I've wanted them to do and then got creative on top of it. But the bare minimum is to follow this checklist. Now, for anyone that's just starting out and think, oh, that's easy for you, you're a video guy, or you've got all these videos, so you've got a template, you can start by looking at someone else's videos and give that as an example for your editors to pull apart and to start. Like, I like how they did their music. The music sounds about right, or that type of music. Like, you don't need to be so specific yet, but build this process out over time with the things that work for you or what doesn't work for you. Because again, it is all a process. Any issues, anything that comes back that you're not happy with or you don't like, it's a process problem or a communication breakdown. It's not that the editor was necessarily bad. I mean, they could have been. We don't know that, but it could just be communication. And especially when you're dealing with someone online, and like our people are in the Philippines, so there can be a communication breakdown in there as well, or something that's lost in translation. But for us, it's been an absolute game changer. I would recommend for anyone just pull yourself out of the editing as much as we feel that we need to do it, as much as we think that we are the ones that shot the video, we know the content, we know it backwards. It's not scalable. So in order to use this as a tool for your business, it can't be you doing it.
So if someone had like software that was for business processes or something like that, that might be a really good phrase.
There you go. Yeah, quick, someone. Yeah.
All right.
Would be a great idea.
Shameless self-plug over with.
You're allowed to do it. You're allowed to do it.
All right. It is my show, I guess. So you could use Flowster for that. And
right.
We are going to have SOPs in Flowster for video. I am in the midst of, I think, attempting to talk Justin into creating some that will be available, but we won't get into that now. So uploading onto YouTube, what are some of the best practices? When, video's done, it's edited, I've now got to get it onto the platform. There's right and wrong ways to do this. Can you walk us through that?
Cool. So we always upload our videos as private first, and that way we can schedule them. That way we can have them there, they're ready to go. We can then go and create our WordPress blog to embed that video. Obviously, we can't embed the video without the link. The video needs to be on YouTube first, is the first step. Once it's on there, we can then schedule things like social media posts to go out. We use Agora Pulse for that, so we can schedule those posts ahead of time. We use TubeBuddy to help us schedule the YouTube video release as well. You can use the built-in YouTube. YouTube does have a scheduling tool, but there's more control over it using the TubeBuddy plugin to help you schedule the release of your video. So everything is set up ahead of time. But I think the most important thing that we've probably missed, which we did touch on a little bit, was the thumbnail. Obviously, you want to have that done and ready to go when you're going to upload your videos. So for us, we use Design Pickle to outsource our thumbnail design. So the moment after I finish recording videos, I will shoot 3 or 4 little candid poses, really, where I'm pulling a silly face or pointing at something, and I'll just screenshot those out of the video at the end. So this isn't something that most people will do. They'll go through and they'll try to find a frame out of their video where they're kind of half smiling or between sentences or whatever. That's nowhere near as good as just making sure in your filming process at the end of every video, you stand there, you smile, you point at stuff, pull these silly faces, whatever it is.
So instead of taking a still picture, your camera's rolling for another 30 seconds and you're like...
That's it. Yep. Just posing, random poses, pointing, whatever. And that way I've got options. And it's quick. It's not that I've got to go and switch the camera into photo mode and then, adjust the lighting or anything like that. Literally, it's the same as the video. So we're doing that. We're intentional about that. So then straight away those go off the footage goes to our editors. Those screenshots or those images go off to Design Pickle to create our thumbnails. So that when we get everything back, when the video is ready, we've then got the thumbnail that's ready to go out as well. So you don't want to be there uploading your video going, oh, shoot, I don't have a thumbnail yet. I'll just quickly knock something up in Paint or Photoshop or whatever. So it really is about being intentional with the content you're creating and having a process around that. So that's our process for that. But then once you're ready to go live, obviously the first step is it's all scheduled for us, but the YouTube video goes first, and that's setting it from private to public. At that point, the WordPress site, it goes live as well at the same time with the article and whatever else on there, or at least the links and everything. So it's searchable on our website as well as on YouTube, because if you want people just to go through and find your specific content, it can be hard, as you know, there's a lot of other videos on YouTube. So that's why we have our own blog site with really just our YouTube videos embedded on there. But it also helps with Google ranking, and Google ranking helps with YouTube ranking. So it really is like it plays into SEO and those sorts of things as well to help you grow your channel and your presence online by having a WordPress blog or some sort of website with your content on there too.
Question about end screens and cards. I know end screens are still used. Did YouTube deprecate cards, or are they still?
They still have cards. They dropped annotations, which was where you could have like a hotspot or a link midway through a video. So that is gone. Cards are the little thing up in the top. I think it's right-hand corner, which you can link off to other video content. And that can come through at any time. So if you're saying like we've done a full walkthrough on this video, I'll put a link up in the cards. Like this is midway through a video. There's a link that someone can click to be taken off your video now to go to another video. Now, ideally, that's only to your content, and it's more so as supplementary content to what they're watching. You don't want to send them off to someone else's video at that point because they're watching yours. Yeah. So it really is. It's about helping them with that next step, or knowing that there is a link to something else. But end cards or end screen is the last 20 seconds of your video. Now, this is where you're talking in your video, your call to action. So this is where you're saying what I want you to do next is, and if it's subscribe, make sure that your end card or end screen has a subscribe button, or whatever video that you're saying. And a great video for you to check out next would be this one, and there's a link to it on screen. So you're putting links to all of those relevant topics. And you can also have links to opt-ins or an off-site page as well, to a verified page. So for us, it's primalvideo.com, and any lead gen or any lead magnets that we have on there, or PDF downloads or free training, will all go to primalvideo.com/something. We can then link that in that end card. So I can say in my call to action at the end of the video, if you're interested on how to edit faster, check out the link on screen now to our entire process on the most efficient way to edit your videos down. And there's a link that will take them to that.
And do you take your video, kind of shrink it down to the corner, and have a graphical image of some kind that these things are overlaid on?
Yes, yeah. So you want to make it easy for people to find. And if you're just using your regular video positioning, then most likely you're going to be sitting in the center of the screen, and you're going to have icons and logos and stuff over your head. So yes, I actually, when I'm filming, I don't change anything. I shoot the video in exactly the same position. I just keep rolling. But in our editing, we'll slide the video across to the side, and we'll bring up something to cover that.
Okay.
So it also calls out the end of the video. People know that that's the end of the video. They get used to seeing your branding, your colors, and those sorts of things as well, and that there is links on screen.
Okay. So we have 2 more questions before we wrap up. Once you've got your video published on YouTube, it's published on your site, you've shared it on social media, are there any other best practices for promoting your video?
Yeah, so I'd say there's 2 things that you want to be doing. And the first one is to drive as much traffic to your videos as you can in the first 24 to 48 hours. So traffic to it. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell whoever to go and watch your video. Obviously, their friends and family are great if you're just starting, but it's really you're getting this out there. So sharing it on social. If you've got an email list, maybe you do a weekly newsletter or something that goes out, or sharing your content that way is a great way to do it. That sends good indicators to YouTube that you're bringing people onto the platform, that you are a session starter, which is the most valuable thing to YouTube. You've brought people in from off YouTube onto YouTube.
So when you sorry to interrupt you, when you do your email blast, you've got your video embedded on your site and you've got it on YouTube. Do you send the traffic to the blog post on your site, or do you send it to the video on YouTube?
We send it to the video on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, even though they inherently will be watching the same video that's embedded on there, we always send out traffic to YouTube so that it's going to hold higher for the YouTube algorithm. Obviously, there would be more benefit on the business side of things, maybe in sending them to your blog or whatever, because you can have other links and those sorts of things. But it's also more distracting for them. They're probably not going to consume the content on your own website as easy as they would on YouTube, because you've got your own links and distractions and those kinds of things that you're trying to pull their attention away to go and opt in or something. So yes, we send everyone direct to YouTube, and that's kind of the face of our business. So we send them there. The next thing is interaction. You want to create as much interaction as you can. So even in your videos, you can say, let me know in the comments below what your thought on this video is, or let me know where you're at, or what your top tip is, whatever it is. So in that first 24 to 48 hours, we make a point of answering every comment as quickly as we can. So it shows YouTube that there's a conversation going on there, and that obviously plays into that as well. But also, the more that you do it, the more people will comment, and they'll ask you and say, "Oh, can you do a video on this too?" or whatever. So then your topic pool grows. So you're never going to run out of ideas, because you're building these deeper relationships with people that are helping you create your content, because they're telling you what they want to know about. So interaction and answering, almost every comment. The biggest thing for us, I think, with that too, we stopped answering comments after that 24 to 48 hours because our channel was growing too fast, and we were at the point like it was taking too much of our time. So we now have team members that help us answer comments, because we interviewed a lot of the people that were in our paid membership program, and the game-changing thing for them, like obviously they found us on YouTube, but what made you follow? What made you sign up? And it was because we answered their comments. We answered their questions. We are real human to human stuff, like answering comments. We were like, oh, that's cool. No, these are real people at the other end. And if you acknowledge them, if you answer their questions, that's going to help you grow much, much faster and build better relationships with people. So now we go back and answer every good comment. Obviously, if you might get some trolls and that kind of stuff in there, delete those ones, but answer every good comment. And that's going to be huge, not just for creating interaction on your channel, but also for building relationships with people that will then flow on to take your courses and those sorts of things.
So even after the first 48 hours is done, you're going to put your time into answering comments, or you're going to have someone on your team answering comments?
So we have team to do, I guess it's kind of a mix. I will jump in where there is something that is so super specific, but I'll normally be the one doing the 24 to 48 hours. And beyond that, if this was a great video, thank you, then that would be a team member responding at that point to say, awesome, glad you liked it, or whatever it is. But obviously, if it's a technical question, I mean, we're not giving out free technical support in the comments either. If it's a big question, we'll take one piece of it and say, glad you liked the video. Maybe this other video might help, or something. It's not free support line either, but it is acknowledging people. And if they've taken the time to comment, then that's awesome. That's helping us. And it's all about building relationships. So that's a great way to do it.
Last thing is then using YouTube to build an email list. What are the ways that works for you to do this?
Cool. So this is obviously the core of our business, and this is what I love YouTube for, because of that organic traffic. Everything else like Facebook or whatever, you could put a video up and it could be gone within a day, a week, a month. YouTube, it stays there for, we got videos up that are nearly 4 years old now that are bringing in over 1,000 views each a day, and they are primary lead gen videos for us. So most of our videos on our YouTube channel, I'd say 75% don't have an email opt-in link or a call to action at the end that's taking them off. Only where there is a 100% fit in the content that they've watched, where it's going to lead directly into our into one of our opt-ins, one of our PDF guides or something, or free training, will we mention it. So it's not like you're watching a camera review and it's like, oh, by the way, do you want to learn how to edit? Then check this out. That's kind of, it falls into, like, while there is a fit between camera and editing, the people that are watching are just interested in cameras at that point. So we'll only mention our editing guide or editing checklist on an editing video where we know it's a fit. And that then makes it the next step.
You mean you'll verbally mention it in the video, but in the description, you could put links to whatever you would like, correct?
Yes. So in the description, definitely you could link to other resources and those sorts of things on all of them. I think one of the biggest ones we have is linking off to our gear or resources page, which is all affiliate links. So that's been a huge revenue boost for our business in recommending everything from the web host that we use, the theme that we use on our website, right through to what email platform we recommend. So like our goal is to help people build a business with this stuff. And these are all the business tools that we're using. So it's not just around the tech and the cameras and that kind of stuff. They're there as well. But it's also about helping people build a business with this stuff. That's part of our goal. So so email list is the most valuable part of our business. That's where we own the messaging. We own when we hit send, we know that people can see it. It's not going to be filtered out by an algorithm, and they may be shown it or maybe not. Mm-hmm. So that's where that's the goal of our business.
Okay. Justin, I want to thank you very much for coming to be on the show and being so detailed and transparent in the guidance and answers to the questions. Is there anything else that you wanted to add before we sign off? Is there anything that you think that I maybe shouldn't have or should have asked you but didn't? And also mention where the people can come and get more information about you.
Yeah, awesome. I guess the biggest thing, and it's nothing that you haven't asked or anything, I think that the biggest thing I want people to say, or to take away, is that YouTube is a long game. There's a lot of people that are creating content, and they might do, look, I did a video a week for a month, and so I've done 3-4 videos, and I don't have much success yet. Like I would say, if you're really serious about YouTube, upload 1 video a week for at least 6 months. And see how that goes then. Ideally, I would be saying 12 months. Mm-hmm. And you look at that and go, cool, how could I find 52 topics to talk on? Or at least do them in batches and record your first 10 and get those out. Because you're going to learn from those 10 and grow, and you'll get faster. It gets easier. And the more that you can batch produce your content, it makes a huge difference. But it really is starting. And it's using the gear that you already have, mm-hmm. and not being overwhelmed with this, like, oh, I don't have an email platform, I don't have this, I don't have affiliates, and just start making the videos. You can build the rest of it out. Mm-hmm. Like we didn't have any opt-ins or lead gens, anything like that when we started. And then our first one was a Google Doc, literally a Google Doc. It looked like a piece of trash. So you can grow, but it was more about, this is the process that we're giving people. We're helping people, and it's a Google Doc. So you don't need to go and and outsource all your thumbnails and those sorts of things. Maybe have that as kind of the end goal or somewhere in your path. But it is easy to do this stuff. You just got to look at it from the overall goal. Like, how can I do this effectively? And I'm not looking for that quick win. If you want quick traffic, go buy Facebook traffic. If you want the long-term relationship and the organic traffic that's going to pay off for years to come, then that's YouTube hands down.
All right. Thanks very much, Justin. And people can reach you at primalvideo.com, right?
That's it. And our YouTube channel is Primal Video. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
All right. Terrific. Take care.